So this is my third Carpuride device. The first two were specifically designed for the BMW Connect cradle. This one is different. It can fit on any bike. Could go on a push bike if you had some power, and would fit in a car as well. There's enough cable for the cameras. You can power it off USB or direct to the battery. And this one again has cameras. Front and rear cameras are integrated into the device. Records onto an SD card, and also you can pull it off using an app. If you're interested in buying one, I've got a referral code. Use Starman as you check out of the Carpuride site if you're buying it off the Carpuride site, and you'll get a discount there. I think it's like 10% discount. You'll have to go and check just to see what it is. But nice little device, kind of started up. You get good quality pictures off the end of it. Always useful to have some video, just in case we get into any scrapes. You know what it's like riding a bike. Pictures, video are at the end of this, and I'll also just do a reminder. Please do like, comment and subscribe. I'm just close to 2,000 subscribers, so just press subscribe, see if you can get me over the edge. Thank you, folks. See you soon. Okay, so what have we got here? So we've got two cameras, front and rear, and if you can see, they're kind of color coded, and that relates to cables coming from out of the device. There's also like a hardwire powering harness and a USB harness. That's the one that I use on my bike. And then you've got mounts for the 1-inch ball socket that you can use. Remember, this doesn't clip into a cradle, so you can use this on any bike or bicycle or even car, I guess. This is a hardwired controller that you can use to scroll through the camera views through the cameras, so you can have front and rear, or you can focus on one or the other. And then more mounting equipment there, specifically for the mounts for the camera. So you decide where they go on your bike. One's front, one's rear. The instructions are pretty good. So this is the third Carpuride device that I've had, and also there's a solid online community. So there's a Facebook page dedicated to Carpuride, and lots of people now have these devices and can give you hints and tips. So just as a reminder, this is the 603D. You don't need to be riding a BMW bike to use this device. Okay, so here we are on the workbench, also known as the dinner table. And this is the back of the unit. You can see it's got one of those 1-inch ball mounts. I put the little anti-glare screen on the top, anti-glare hood on the top. The other thing that you need to see is underneath, you see that little door there? And behind that door, there's an SD card. I've not opened it yet, but I will open it just to take a look to make sure that there's an SD card in there. You can have up to a 256 gigabyte SD card to record your stuff, and you can use that to transfer to a laptop, although I think you can do it via an app as well. So there's the hard controller. 2 cameras, 1 camera there, 1 camera there. You can decide whether they're front and rear. And look, there's a lot of cable, okay? So I would be really surprised if you need all that cable. Just looking at this, there's more cable there than there is for that one. So I'd say that's for the front. That one's for the rear. And then I swapped out that permanent power harness for the USB harness, because that'll go into the USB socket on my bike. So what I'm going to do now is power it up using my Anker power bank, and we'll take a look at what it looks like. Well, there you go. That was the first time that I've switched it on. So the time's all wrong. Starting to record. So it obviously just jumps into a record mode whenever you switch it on. What I need to do is just to connect it to my phone, my Apple phone. This home screen, you can change this home screen. What you do is you take a picture of your bike or whatever home screen you want. You load it onto the SD card in the right format, and then it picks it up. Again, I picked that up off one of the forums online. There's a Carpuride forum on Facebook, which is really useful. Okay, what I'm going to do is switch the camera off and pair it to my phone, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so that was easy enough. It just basically paired automatically. I went into Bluetooth, saw the device name, it gave me a pairing request, and here we go. So if you don't know, what you get with CarPlay and with Android Auto is effectively it extends your cameras, it extends your phone screen for CarPlay enabled apps. So all these are CarPlay enabled apps, and there's 3 pages of them, I think. Yeah, okay. Let's just make sure that the music one works. There you go, you see, so that's that's just some of my music, okay. The next thing that I've got to do is pair my helmet. I'll do that when I actually put this onto the bike. But now what I'm interested to do is take a look at the camera functionality. So I've got one camera pointing up at the picture, one camera pointing at me. Let's see if we can find that screen on the device. So it's easy enough to do. You go into the devices screen as opposed to the CarPlay screen. So you can see me here. Hi, me, hello, hello, hi. And that is the feed from that camera there. And then this picture here is that picture there by Jeff Lee Johnson. And that's from that camera there. Now what I've got here is the hand controller. There's 3 buttons on the hand controller. One is a phone. My guess is that's the phone answer or phone start. There's a home screen. And then that screen there is a cycle screen. So my guess is that if I press that, it'll cycle through the cameras. Yeah, there you go. So that's the rear one, I guess. Yeah, that's the rear one. Split screen. There you go. There's probably a way that you can get it to go through all of them. Well, we'll work that out when we're on the bike, hey. So, and then down here, there's well, okay, let's do that again. And again. So you've got record, stop, start. My guess is that you can stopping recording, starting recording. The lock one normally means that you can lock that recording. That'll be to take a photo. That's the home screen. That'll be for the CarPlay screen, and then the last one will be for your microphone. So let's press that one to get on the CarPlay screen. There you go. And the smart screen will bring me back to here, and then that icon there, that shutter icon, will take me back into the into the cameras. That's pretty intuitive. I've not used this before. I've not read the instructions. That's pretty intuitive as far as I go. In this day and age, nobody reads the manual, do they? So so just looking at that home screen, there's a few icons in here. So playback, I think, brings up a menu of all your previous files. Let's go and have a look. Video. Yep, so these are the files that it's just taken over the past 10 minutes. So some of these will just be there. There you go. That's off the screen. Let's have a look at another one. It's me. Yeah, this is just me doing the setup. It's quite nice, actually. Nice and easy to do. So it's a beautiful day outside, and I'm in the garage just hooking up this Carpuride 603D on the bike. It looks a bit of a mess, but it's a temporary setup just to see how it works on the bike. So let's start at the front. So I use a GoPro at the front. It does interfere with the light a little bit. I only have a ride during the day, so but I use that as kind of like my daily camera. And what you get with this 603D is it's integrated into the device. And I've hooked the device in here, which is where I used to have another mount. I took my 702 BS, which is the BMW cradle mount one, from out of there because I don't want to get any of the Bluetooth kind of compromised. There is the power feed that goes into the USB slot down there. You see that? USB slot. And then we've got a front camera that comes through, and I'll need to adjust the field of view on that, but we'll get it. We'll get good pictures from it when I take it out for a ride. Up here, that one is the hardwired controller, where you can loop through, answer phones and jump to your home screen. And what I'll do is I'll zip tie that in on that. That one's going to be a little bit more difficult because you don't want it to interfere with your steering. So I'll end up undoing some of that coil. There's loads and loads of wire between the cameras and the controllers and things to make it fit for your bike or your car, in fact. And then this one is the rear camera. I'll hook it under the seat, under the seats. I've got some spare cable there. I mean, there's another meter there, so that's why I say you could easily put it onto a car. There's the rear camera, and again, I'll fix that mount, and then we'll take it out for a spin later. And that's how it'll look on the bike. Obviously, if you were fixing this up and you were doing it for your bike, you would mount the Carpuride device either up here or there or somewhere like that. Okay, let's take it out for a ride. So this is on the way up to Newlands Corner. There's that transit van in front of me and a Range Rover behind me. A little bit too close, that Range Rover was. You can see when I get to the top. It records onto the SD card in 1 minute chunks. You can change the quality of the picture, so you can have higher resolution or lower resolution. It also records sound as well. The sound is quite noisy. There's just a little microphone that's in the device. This looks pretty good to me. It's fast, it's not glitchy. I like the fact that it's 1 minute segments, so they're all timed, and then you can take it off either using the SD card directly, or there's an app called Vidure that you can use just to download it onto your phone directly. So I'm going to turn left on the left hand picture into Newlands Corner, and you can see that Range Rover gets a little bit too close. Yeah, back off, mate. That's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget the referral code STARMAN if you're interested in buying one. Catch up soon. Bye.